What's up, guys? Welcome back to Legends Never Die, where neither will you if you know Jesus. And what I want to talk about today that is correlated with my pickups I'm going to share is the question, do you Hall of Fame speculate for your collection? Meaning, do you try and buy guys that you believe that will be in the Hall of Fame, therefore making them collectible for your collection, that you try and buy those in advance before that day comes? Now, myself and my friend Dom over at Staven Sports Cards had talked about a lot several times throughout our podcast about the different windows where it's a good time to do this. One of them being, after a guy retires, that window of 5 years before they hit the ballot, they're not really in the public eye, getting a lot of hype. That's a good time. Another is kind of the post breakout, they're like 6-7 years into their career, and everybody's kind of focused on, the guys that are new into the league, new hot rookies, this, that, and the other. Sometimes mid-career is a good time. One other good example is a late career guy that you believe will be in the Hall, but isn't quite going on the retirement tour yet, maybe a couple years out from doing so, and getting a lot of publicity, it being their last season. Maybe they have a bad contract, maybe they're fizzling out as they ride off into the sunset. Those can be good opportunities to buy as well. I think all of those are true, but generally my rule is, like most other things, I have a huge want list, huge, 25,000 plus items. And I'm about just under 65% complete on all those, from autographs to vintage cards that, wide range of costs and values and all of those kind of things. But my general rule is, if it's on my list, when I find a good deal on one of them, that's the next thing I'm buying. Now, I often shoot for the biggest and best things I can buy at the top end of my means before they're out of reach, as a general rule. But sometimes deals fall in my lap, I come across them, and I think, hey, that's a good Hall of Fame speculation piece. I'll go ahead and add that to my collection. Well, one of these items I'm going to show you today was already on my list for a different reason that I've now acquired. But the two other ones were Hall of Fame speculation pieces. So I'm going to flip the camera around, show you guys the three items and why I picked each of them up and why I think they are great pieces for Hall of Fame collections in the future. Let's look at them. So I'm going to go in order of value from least valuable to most valuable because that's the way I want to do it. I think it's the most exciting. It's only three items anyways. Now for my collection, I collect Hall of Fame managers, executive, players, presidents, all aspects of the Hall of Fame that actually get a plaque in Cooperstown, umpires even. Okay. Now, this manager probably had a Hall of Fame career already, and then he came back and won another World Series with the Texas Rangers after winning with the Giants before. He doesn't have a ton of on-card autographs, and this image was just too good to pass up. I got it for like half of what they're going for, so I jumped on it. But it's this Topps Archives Bruce Bochy autograph with him with the World Series trophy. I just think that's so cool. That's what he's best known for, is his tenure with the Giants and winning those World Series championships. That was a no-brainer for me. I think he's a future Hall of Famer. Now, second, if you listen to the recent episode of Cracking Cooperstown, we talk a lot about how this contemporary ballot will matter a lot in seeing where that goes in the future, especially in regards to the PED guys. Now, I would have wanted this autographed baseball regardless, because I'm collecting the 500 home run club. This guy's in the 600 home run club. And admittedly, the summer of '98 holds a special place in my heart. So I added this Sammy Sosa autographed baseball inscribed 609 home runs. And me personally, I'm a man of forgiveness. If you don't know, I'm a pastor. That's my career, if you will. I would call it a calling, not a career, but that's what I do to feed my family. And so forgiveness and asking for forgiveness matters to me. I would be quite the hypocrite if that wasn't true. And by Sammy finally saying, sorry to the Chicago Cubs for what he did so he could come back and be celebrated at Wrigley as he should be, I look at Sammy in a better light. He was always a fun player. hated that he was caught up in this knowingly, unknowingly. That part doesn't matter at this point. But I'm really excited to add that autographed baseball. And it was one of 2 items I actually added from a new card shop that opened in the town next to me in Lincolnton, North Carolina. It's called Startown Cards. It is on in the Main Street circle, their courthouse circle. So I added that on their opening day of their shop, as well as this last item, which is easily the big item. It's numbered to 25, and it is a relic. And there are not many players, a handful, that I consider impossible for me, due to monetary reasons, to get their autograph in terms of Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. There are a few that are too scarce, or some that even don't exist at all. In the case of this player, there may or may not be a handful that exist, and it would be way out of my price range. This player's also been in the news a lot lately. He will come up on a future era committee ballot, most likely, and it will get a ton of publicity when that happens, because he was recently removed from the ineligible list. It's Shoeless Joe Jackson. And this is my National Treasures Shoeless Joe Jackson back card, numbered to 25. Now, not only is this sick, it's a relic of Shoeless Joe Jackson, but on the back here, if you read it, it actually says the enclosed barnstorming tour worn used material is guaranteed by Panini America. So it tells us specifically that it was used by him in barnstorming, which I think is pretty dang cool when it comes to a player like Shoeless Joe Jackson. So who knows when exactly that bat he had there was used, post-playing days, potentially from the White Sox after his ban, when he was living in exile. What a card. What a piece of history. So if you don't already Hall of Fame Speculate as part of your collection, I would advise you to be on the lookout for these kind of items, that they can be, when the right opportunity comes along, a great chance to add things that you would eventually want in your collection as a Hall of Fame collector or someone who appreciates the history of the game, that very well could increase in price in the future. Not always, but often they do. So until next time, guys, keep collecting. God bless.